Hey guys, welcome back. This is Devin Adams doing my SSL VPN demo before I sign off for a while on the weekend. But anyways, guys, in the last video we configured a web portal. So we also configured the firewall policies and we did everything but tested. All right, so I decided to shut the video off just because I didn't want to sit there and watch Paul's device update. Now, there is a caveat that I must mention here, guys, and that is when you're using the free license FortiGates, right? Because the FortiGates will give you 15 days for the VMs to try out. I forgot one of the things that are a limitation is HTTPS web access, including that being of SSL portals are disabled. So Fortinet respectively. In other words, I respect this. They turn off certain features, so you wouldn't be tempted to use those trials in production. So the only thing that I did behind the scenes here, because I'm really against the whole smoke and mirrors thing. All right, is let me go to my support machine here. Is I had to drop my license on my FortiGate VM. So I have a few FortiGate VM licenses, and just to show you that that's the only thing that's changed here, I have licensed the FortiGate. So um, all the other settings though are identical, and I'll just confirm that by going to dashboard and looking at the license information here. See how I now have a serial number, whereas before I had the evaluation serial number. So, all right, okay. So, anyways, with that being said, okay, uh, that's all right. And there might be some kind of overcoming that. I just don't know it off the top of my head. Not really what I was going to focus on in these videos. I'm more focused on Paul the sales guy, right? So he's out of the office now. He's somewhere in the world, okay? And aw, look at the koala. Okay, so he's logged in somewhere. And I'm just going to confirm this by, updates, by going to a command prompt, doing an IP config. And he's coming from a 192.168.1.100 number. So completely unrelated. He's just maybe at home, maybe in Timbuktu. Who knows? All right. So now Paul has to go submit his hours or his work expenses, and he does that all through an internal network. And unfortunately, Paul can't do that. So because it's an internal resource. Well, but we can give Paul a link, and we'll probably bookmark this really big for him, right? So in fact, I'll do an HTTPS colon whack whack 10 200.2.1. I think that's what we did it as. All right. And I should get a cert error. And this is why it was yelling at me about the cert the whole time. All right. So one of these days I'll do a demo probing into how to fix that. But this is what Paul will see. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So Paul is his username. And then also his password. So I'm going to stop right there. Okay. It worked, but I want to stop right there just to bring up some points here. Okay. If I go back to my support machine, okay, and I go to my users and devices, and I go to my my monitor, my SSL VPN monitor. I mean, I see Paul here. I see where he logged in from, so on and so forth. So that's kind of neat. Um, but also, if I go to my users and devices and my user groups, all right, let's take a look at the sales group. So the sales group, okay, which authenticated Paul, is using LDAP. All right, so is using LDAP. So that was one of the questions that I got, and I thank you, Jason, for mentioning that. Jason was like, well, I can't seem to use the remote user accounts, right? Um, what's going on here? Okay, so there you guys go. All right, now I'm not too sure how this would work unless you authenticated with the domain controller first. That will be a different video. All right, I'd have to look into how to do FSSO, but that's okay, right? Because this is a web portal. We want them putting in credentials anyways. They could be at a coffee shop. They could be at grandma's house. Okay, but I just want to show you guys that this did work. All right, so kind of weird. Jason was specifically asking about the SSL tunnel though, and we'll get there too. But still, pretty neat, huh? Pretty neat. So, in other words, I don't want to see Paul's password. I don't want to know Paul's password. Paul can do his own thing. All right. In fact, speaking of Paul, these are called bookmarks. You guys saw me configure that, and that's like our internal website. And if I click it, there you go. So, this is a public IP address, but it's being proxied through here. See the 10.01.10? So, I know. It's okay. There we go. Um, by the way, I clicked it, got an error because this takes you to the IIS internet site, and I don't have internet access for our people that have tunneled back through into the network. So that's something known as split tunneling or disabling split tunneling. For right now, this would be an HR portal that Paul could pick and do his thing. Okay, so, um, but what's also kind of neat about this, though, all right, this is also a way to provision the FortiClient. Okay, so maybe I'll go ahead and take advantage of that and download the FortiClient. So here we go. And obviously, Paul might not be uh, intelligent, not intelligent, that's a bad word. Not the admin rights to do this stuff, right? So that's okay. I mean, that's fine. Um, we'd probably do it for him or deploy it with his laptop or walk him through it or something, okay? So, in fact, he's not even connected to the domain. I don't even know. Oh, it did ask us for credentials. Let's see if it remembers it. Administrator. Yeah, okay, sure. There you guys go. So, so anyways, guys, that is also taking care of one of our goals. So let's take a look here while it's doing its thing. Okay. Um, let's see here. So we set up the portal and but we haven't set up the VPN tunnel yet. All right. We did create a bookmark so we can get to those internal resources because it's nice to have a web portal for employees to push buttons, right, instead of having them to set up IPsec or anything like that. We also configured the firewall policies to allow this through, and we tested the web portal and downloaded the FortiClient. So good times there. And also, as a bonus, we did confirm that the SSL VPN user group sales is using LDAP to do it through the domain controller settings. So, Jason, if you are watching this, bud, if that's not what you were talking about, like if you're more curious about using FSSO versus just having them to remotely do it, let me know. I'm going to see here in a moment, right, and this is where we're transitioning into the next video. We're going to see here in the moment about installing that FortiClient and configuring SSL VPN, so Paul doesn't even need to click anything to get to that HR web portal while he is using his own laptop. So um, anyways, guys, so I will leave it at that. Hopefully this will do its thing. All right, so I'll let this thing continue to download. You know what? In fact, why don't we just hang out here? Because that was one of our objectives, is to install this thing. So why don't we get this installed, and then we'll stop the video and configure the other side of it. So I just went ahead and stopped the scan. You can do that. It will still continue with the installation. So it does that just to make sure, you know, the machine itself is not infected before you put on the client, which is nice. It's just in this demo, I'm not going to do it. And as you can see here, I don't want the other features, even though you could, okay? But I just want to use this for SSL IPsec VPNs. All right, I'm going to install it. And what happens here is it is going to install a logical adapter. If I can find out, okay, there it is. If we go to our adapter settings, we're going to see after it gets done, there's going to be an SSL adapter here. And it will make a routing decision, right, when we try to go back to the office to push it through that logical SSL interface and VP. Oh, ta-da! And then see the Fortinet virtual adapter. Oh, that was so cool. Uh, and then that way, Paul will be able to not even need to do that, right? Doesn't even need to go to a website to submit his hours or what have you. So see how it's all coming to life here. All right. All right, wonderful. So you do need to have admin rights. You do need to have, all that good stuff. So you can't just go ahead and do it yourself. But when we get back, guys, we will go ahead and finish this up by, right, configuring the SSL VPN for tunnel mode instead of web portal. So that's one goal. And also we are going to configure the client, the FortiClient, to use that tunnel, and then test the tunnel by trying to go to that internal website without having to go to the web page first. So, okay guys, I'll see you on the beach. See you in a bit.